and that's on us as a unit to pick up the slack for him. He's, as everybody wants to think that he is superhuman, he is not. He is our leader.
Jimmy Butler just exploded on a teammate, and Steve Kerr didn't see it coming. The Warriors' shocking loss to a shorthanded Nuggets squad sparked a fiery courtside clash that has the NBA buzzing. Cameras caught Butler confronting Buddy Hield in a moment that instantly went viral. Was this just tough love, or is there deeper trouble brewing in Golden State?
Post missing that three, but Moody with the rebound. Jimmy Butler from deep. Okay. Since he's joined the Bucks, but he is another scoring option. Kyle Kuzma coming over in the Middleton trade, and quick post, and a nice feed from Jimmy Butler.
Butler, known throughout his career for his fierce competitive spirit, couldn't contain his frustration as he watched teammate Buddy Hield pass up open looks during the third quarter. As the buzzer sounded to end the period, Butler approached the struggling sharpshooter with an intensity that cameras captured in vivid detail, creating a moment that immediately dominated social media.
Make that push. Shot clock at 3. Pajemski floater in! This perfect night continues. 4-4. Get it and go fast before the defense knows what to hit him if you're Pajemski. Thomas again, big-to-big screening for Brook Lopez, and Antetokounmpo laying it in and drawing.
Nothing basketball trying to win, I honestly don't even remember, but whatever it was towards winning, Butler explained after the game. I mean, got a lot of respect for Buddy. I know whatever we saw, which probably in agreeance on it at that, but it was all towards winning. The heated exchange wasn't random, it was Butler's signature leadership pushing teammates toward excellence. He doesn't expect Hield to make every shot, but to trust the system that built the Warriors' dynasty. Hield's struggles are a growing concern, with his three-point percentage dropping to 35% in March, a major dip for a player relied on for elite shooting. Butler's confrontation might seem intense, but it supports Kerr's system of quick passing and confident shooting. Hield's hesitation throws off the team's rhythm, making Butler's leadership even more important. With the Warriors holding the 6th seed and facing pressure from the Timberwolves and Clippers, every game and Butler's energy matters for their championship dreams. But Hield's shooting struggles aren't the only concern for Kerr and his coaching staff. Stephen Curry, the engine that powers everything Golden State does, showed signs of fatigue during the loss to Denver. The two-time MVP finished with an uncharacteristic stat line: 20 points and 7 turnovers, far below his usual standard of excellence. Steph looked tired tonight, and you could see it in some of those turnovers, Kerr said after the game. He's carrying a huge load for us, and we've been on this road trip with 3 games in 4 nights. He's human. He's not going to be at his peak every single night. Of those 4 turnovers, a couple of them were just sloppy, not like him. I think he's feeling it physically right now, and it showed. Let's see what Kerr said.
What you pinpoint most?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to win an NBA game when you throw the ball to the other team 10 times, and that's what we were facing tonight. And they played a great game. The minute we heard all those guys were out, it's like, all right, guys, here we go. We've seen this a million times. This is how it works in the NBA. The other team's guys are going to go nuts. They can't wait to play. There's no pressure, and so we've seen it a lot. And we didn't respond right away. We played poorly out of the gate and never found rhythm. And they played great. The right team won. We didn't deserve that.
But wait, there is more. Coach Kerr has a tough choice. Give Curry rest before the playoffs or keep him playing to secure a good spot in the standings. The Warriors believe in teamwork, not just star players, and Butler's talk with Hield was all about that. For the team to succeed, Hield needs to take his shots without fear, even if he's been missing lately. Butler has fit into the Warriors' culture better than expected, despite concerns about his blunt leadership style. His win-first mentality aligns with the team's values, even if it leads to intense moments like Tuesday's clash. The incident also highlights Hield's struggles. Once a confident shooter, he now hesitates, second-guessing his game. Butler's confrontation aims to reignite the aggressive mindset that made Hield a key asset. Golden State's coaching staff has tried various approaches to revive Hield's confidence: extra shooting sessions, simplified play calls, and different rotation patterns. Butler's more direct method might prove to be the catalyst that finally breaks through, especially coming from a teammate rather than a coach. Players often respond differently to peer pressure than they do to coaching instructions, and Butler's status as a 6-time All-Star gives his words additional weight.
Or do you remember that?
Yeah, just overall execution. Body language was bad. These are always tough nights. Like I said, you go into a game and the other team's best players are out, and it's like there's like this natural letdown. Even though you raise it, you bring it up, you talk about it, but we got what we deserved for sure.
As the Warriors look ahead to their upcoming slate of games, Kerr faces dual challenges: finding rest for his exhausted superstar while also maintaining the team's position in a crowded Western Conference playoff picture. The answer may lie in getting more consistent production from role players like Hield, which is exactly what Butler was demanding during their heated exchange. The timing of Tuesday's confrontation is particularly significant given the calendar. With the regular season winding down, teams are positioning themselves for postseason runs while also addressing weaknesses that could be exploited in 7-game series. For Golden State, Hield's shooting and Curry's energy reserves represent two critical variables that will determine whether they can make another deep playoff push. Butler's history suggests that his confrontational approach often yields positive results. During his tenure with the Miami Heat, similar moments of tension ultimately forged stronger bonds among teammates and contributed to their unexpected NBA Finals appearances. Warriors veterans like Draymond Green, no stranger to passionate outbursts himself, likely understand Butler's intentions, even if the delivery seems harsh to outside observers. The upcoming week will reveal much about how the team processes Tuesday's events. If Hield responds with more aggressive play and improved shooting percentages, Butler's intervention will be viewed as a turning point. If the tension lingers or Hield's struggles continue, questions about team chemistry will intensify as the playoffs approach.
For Mark Lindsay and Brett Barnacle, Jonathan Sterling to blow the whistles, and how about Quentin Post opening with the three? For Draymond, lure him into jumpers and hope that he's having an off night.
Yeah, he's shooting less than one a game. That's not what he wants to do. Kyle Kuzma, he can knock that down. He hasn't since he's joined the Bucks, but he is another.
For Kerr, the challenge extends beyond managing personalities. He must also navigate the physical limitations of his aging stars while maintaining competitive standing. Curry isn't the only Warrior showing signs of fatigue. The cumulative toll of the schedule has affected multiple rotation players, creating performance inconsistencies that have contributed to puzzling losses like Tuesday's defeat to a shorthanded Denver team. The Warriors' remaining schedule offers few opportunities for rest, with several games against teams fighting for playoff positioning. Managing minutes becomes a mathematical problem for Kerr. Every moment of rest for Curry potentially decreases win probability, yet pushing him too hard now might diminish his effectiveness when the games matter most. The road ahead remains challenging, with physical fatigue, mental pressure, and the relentless competition of the Western Conference all testing Golden State's resolve. But in Butler, they have a player who refuses to accept anything less than maximum effort, regardless of circumstances. For a team navigating the final chapter of a dynasty, this uncompromising approach might be exactly what they need.
That's a have a foul to give. Steph for three. Got it!
Plus.
Put him to sleep. Night, the closer. And then Steph, that's as emotional as you'll ever see him. He is hyped.
Stephen Curry just dropped a bombshell about his true feelings on the Jimmy Butler trade, and it's nothing like what Warriors fans expected. The NBA's greatest shooter admitted he was bitter and upset when the deal first went down, calling it a whirlwind that left him emotionally torn. Now, as the Warriors start to click with Butler in the lineup, Curry's shocking confession adds a whole new twist to one of the season's biggest trades. In a candid interview on 95.7 The Game, Curry didn't hold back when discussing his immediate reaction to the trade that brought the 6-time All-Star forward to Golden State.
But walk us through where you were at when you got the news that Jimmy was coming to town, and your thoughts.
That was a whirlwind of a day. We were about to play Utah, and rumors, talks, conversations, what ifs, and then it happened. So first you're upset because you're losing guys that you went to war with, Wiggs especially, who helped us win a championship and saw him flourish for the 5 years he was here.
The trade, which sent Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Lowry, and other valuable pieces to the Miami Heat in exchange for Butler, initially struck Curry as a disruption to the team's chemistry. Wiggins, who had been instrumental in the Warriors' 2022 championship run, was particularly difficult for Curry to see depart. Wiggs especially, who helped us win a championship and saw him flourish for the 5 years he was here, Curry said, highlighting the personal connection that made the business decision so difficult to process.
Went to war with, Wiggs especially, who helped us win a championship and saw him flourish for the 5 years he was here. Dennis, Kyle, Lindy, seeing them guys go who were a big part of early in the year. And then you think about the future. Yeah, we're excited that Jimmy was here. We were, again, understanding of who he was as a superstar, and the idea that he plays basketball a very similar way, trying to, as he would say, make the right play.
What makes this revelation particularly shocking is how it contrasts with Butler's enthusiastic reaction to joining the Warriors. Upon arriving in the Bay Area, Butler didn't hide his excitement about teaming up with the two-time MVP. "I get to play with Steph Curry, who I'm a fan of, just like 99.9% of the world," Butler had declared. The stark difference between Butler's enthusiasm and Curry's initial disappointment creates a compelling narrative about the complex human emotions behind major NBA trades. Let's see what Butler said before.
They say opposites attract in a lot of ways in life, and I don't think I could be a better complement to him and vice versa. They're not leaving him ever, so there's so much space for everybody else. I get the easy job. I'm playing one-on-one, or I'm playing in so much space. And then everybody's looking for him, and everybody's looking to get him open.
I think the idea that he's like the exact opposite player of me, which is kind of funny. Like, I'm shooting 16 threes, he shot one, got to the free throw line a lot. He's dominating the paint, I'm dominating the outside and the perimeter. Guys working around us has the potential to be really, really fun.
Curry wasn't alone in his distress. Fellow Warriors player Buddy Hield made an even more dramatic statement about the team's reaction to losing Wiggins. "It was emotional in that locker room. I was even more emotional because I wish it was me that got traded because Wiggs did so much for this franchise," Hield confessed, underscoring the depth of the team's initial resistance to the trade. The Butler deal came after months of increasingly public tension between the forward and Miami Heat president Pat Riley. What began as disagreements over Butler's contract value escalated dramatically after Butler missed the Heat's first-round playoff loss to Boston last season. Butler's claim that Miami would have won had he played prompted Riley's sharp retort, "If you're not on the court playing, you should keep your mouth shut." The deteriorating relationship reached its breaking point following what sources described as an emotional 2-hour meeting between Butler and Riley. Butler characterized the Heat president as unhinged and disturbing, claiming Riley gave him unsolicited and unwanted parenting advice and even told him he loved him through tears, allegations Riley firmly denies. This toxic environment ultimately facilitated Butler's move to Golden State, creating the very situation that initially upset Curry. What's perhaps most remarkable about this story is how dramatically Curry's perspective has shifted since those first difficult days. After working with Butler on the court, Curry now speaks highly of his new teammates' impact.
Seeing them guys go who were a big part of early in the year. And then you think about the future. Yeah, we're excited that Jimmy was here. We were, again, understanding of who he was as a superstar.
This transformation in Curry's attitude reflects the professional mindset that has made him one of basketball's greatest champions. Despite his initial emotional reaction, Curry quickly recognized Butler's value to the team and adapted accordingly. The results speak for themselves. Since Butler's arrival, Curry has been playing some of his most efficient basketball, averaging 29.5 points per game with an astonishing 71% true shooting percentage since the All-Star break. Other Warriors players have similarly reversed their initial skepticism.
Steph, that's as emotional as you'll ever see him. He is hype. Little swaggy back pedal. Steph fouling Russell Westbrook, and he is not happy to say the least. Steph is highly ranked. Do you want to challenge this one?
Hield, who had expressed such strong emotion about Wiggins' departure, now praises Butler as the connector on both ends, who knows how to win and knows how to play. Moses Moody has been even more direct about Butler's positive impact. "It's a lot easier playing with Jimmy Butler. One, he calls for so much attention, so a lot of times my guy is looking at him on defense a lot, and he's just always making the right play, always on the lookout, so it frees up a lot of open shots.
Why does it seem like so many players love playing for this organization? And if that's so important, why do you played in other teams? Why don't we see that more throughout the league?
You know, I just think that it starts from the head. With Steve. Steve just brings everybody together. And, you know, you got to have guys like great coaching staff around you, too. And I know I've been in a lot of situations where I've never seen a situation like this in my life. And
this dramatic shift in team sentiment, from initial upset to growing appreciation, highlights the complex dynamics involved when major roster changes occur mid-season. While the business side of basketball often requires tough decisions, the emotional bonds formed between teammates can make these transitions particularly challenging, even for seasoned veterans like Curry. For Warriors fans, Curry's honest admission about his initial reaction to the Butler trade provides rare insight into the human element of professional sports. Beyond the statistics and highlights, these major organizational decisions impact real people with genuine connections to their colleagues. Curry's ability to move past his initial disappointment and embrace Butler's contributions demonstrates the emotional intelligence that has made him not just a great player, but a great leader. As the Warriors continue their push toward playoff positioning, the Butler-Curry pairing has proven increasingly effective. Curry's newfound freedom from carrying the entire offensive burden has allowed him to play with exceptional efficiency, while Butler's defensive intensity and playmaking ability have added new dimensions to Golden State's attack. What began as a whirlwind that left Curry upset has transformed into a partnership that could potentially restore the Warriors to championship contention. The story of Curry's reaction to the Butler trade ultimately reveals something important about championship-caliber players. They can separate their personal emotions from professional necessities when the team's success is at stake. While Curry's initial snap reaction was negative, his ability to quickly adapt and build chemistry with Butler shows why he remains one of the NBA's most respected leaders, both on and off the court.
Steph Curry! Big time shot! Makes space for the shot. By his lofty standards, wow. Taking ankles for the layup.
Things I got to maintain the level of play.
Steph, another 4-point play?
In the arena of legends where records are made to be broken, one man just did the unthinkable. 4,000 three-pointers, a number once considered impossible, a milestone no player in NBA history has ever reached until now. Stephen Curry, the baby-faced assassin, the greatest shooter the game has ever known. On Thursday, March 13th, 2025, with the flick of his wrist, Curry didn't just extend a record, he shattered the boundaries of what we thought impossible in basketball.
In the lower part of his back on the right side. Curry thought about three. He'll put up a three. There it is! Number 4,000! A shot for the ages from a player for the ages. Truly the portrait of an artist.
The stage was set at San Francisco's Chase Center. Warriors versus Kings, an ordinary regular season game that was about to become extraordinary. Curry entered the night needing just 2 three-pointers to reach 4,000. The crowd knew it. His teammates knew it. Even the opposing Sacramento Kings knew they were potential footnotes in basketball history. With 5:35 left in the first quarter, the first domino fell. From the left wing, Curry caught, rose up, and connected. 3,999. One away from immortality. But then, the basketball gods decided to build the suspense. Defended tightly by Keegan Murray and DeMar DeRozan, Curry's next attempt rimmed out. Another 30-footer before halftime, kissed the front rim, and bounced away. The Chase Center held its collective breath. Would this be the night? Then, with 8:19 left in the third quarter, Moses Moody found Curry on the right wing. Under pressure, with defenders closing in, the moment basketball fans worldwide had been waiting for. The shot went up. Time seemed to slow. The ball rotated perfectly through the air and splash! 4,000 three-pointers, a threshold no player had ever crossed. The crowd erupted into a standing ovation. History wasn't just witnessed, it was experienced. Think about this. Before Stephen Curry revolutionized basketball, no player had ever made 3,000 three-pointers, let alone 4,000. Remember when Reggie Miller's 2,560th three seemed insurmountable? Kings coach Doug Christie sure does. It was 2,560 with Reggie Miller, and it was like, whoa, that's out of control, Christie remarked before Thursday's game. Then Ray Allen pushed the boundary to 2,973 before retiring in 2014. The bar had been raised, but nobody could have predicted what was coming. In December 2021, Curry surpassed Allen to become the all-time leader, but he was just getting started. While James Harden currently sits at 3,127 and Damian Lillard at 2,794, neither is anywhere close to Curry's stratospheric total. What makes this achievement even more remarkable is the man behind it. The day before his 37th birthday, Curry showed that age is just a number when you're changing the game. His journey began on October 30th, 2009, when he made his first career three-pointer against the Phoenix Suns. 16 seasons later, his impact on basketball is immeasurable. The boy who was once considered too small, whose shooting form was once criticized, has transformed how the game is played at every level. He's changed the game in so many different ways, reflected Christie. From seeing him as a little kid in Toronto shooting it from his hip to standing behind him on the sideline, and he's shooting it in your eye. Portland coach Chauncey Billups, who played with a young 21-year-old Curry on Team USA, witnessed the evolution firsthand. That was before he became this guy, which you could tell he was on his way. He's a tireless worker, a great person as we all know. What he's done, I'm not surprised. The numbers behind the 4,000 are just as stunning as the milestone itself. Curry isn't just making more threes than anyone else. He's doing it with unprecedented efficiency. While the average NBA player might consider a 30-footer a desperation heave, for Curry, it's just another day at the office. His logo range shots have become so common that fans barely blink when he pulls up from half court during warm-ups and drains shot after shot. Warriors coach Steve Kerr, who holds the NBA record for career three-point percentage, can only shake his head in amazement. I'm desensitized to the threes because they just come flooding through game after game. 4,000 is just an insane number. When asked how the team might celebrate Curry's latest milestone and birthday, Kerr joked, "What do you get for the guy who has everything? Maybe I'll give him a day off." Curry's 4,000th three-pointer reveals basketball's future trajectory. Before him, three-pointers complemented offenses. Now they define them. From NBA arenas to high school gyms, teams prioritize spacing, shooting, and analytics that Curry's success validated. Today's youth don't just dream of reaching the NBA, they dream of shooting like Steph. His influence created a generation seeing no shot as too far, no defense as insurmountable.